Out of town, but I'll catch the VOD later. This is my pet deck I wanted to show off for the class. I own all these cards in paper. The game plan is shenanigans. Mulligan into at least 2 lands and or solid ramp. Cast my commander turn 3 or 4 and then pretty much play whatever. I'm almost guaranteed to win around turn 10 if I survive that long. The deck is technically bracket 2, but I'm not that cruel. It plays like a high 3, tempo 4. Tempo 4? What the fuck are you saying? The deck is pretty much complete. Nothing needs to be added. Just watch in Horrified Fascination or something. The cards in the sideboard don't really even matter that much. Mostly stuff I cut in the past. However, when I ordered a 100 card pack of sleeves, they sent me a few extras. I realized that today. So I need to cut sideboard / 2 cards. 1/1 Death Touch for 1 is one of my favorite. What's happening, huh? The cards in the sideboard don't really matter. They sent me a few extras. I realized that today. So I need to cut sideboard / 2 cards. Ah, okay. You have 2 cards, 2 over. A 1-mana 1/1 Death Touch for 1, so Ankle Biter stays, even though it doesn't help my game plan much. Okay, but like, Ankle Biter sucks, dog. Have you heard of fucking Tower Winder? But still, if it needs to be 1 mana, run Virulent Emissary. If it needs to be 1 mana, it needs to be a 1 mana 1/1 with Death Touch. Run this instead of Tower Winder. Or not Tower Winder, sorry. Tower Winder is the other card I'm going to recommend. So, run this instead of Ankle Biter. If it is okay that it's 2 mana instead, Kid Named Tower Winder. This card's broken. Reach Death Touch for 1 extra mana is a nice addition. And then it finds Command Tower and puts it in your hand. Right, so just consider those. Just consider them. Mulligan, at least 2 ramps and or solid ramp. I see. Okay. I mean, I'm just going to keep the deck as is and we can kind of cut what we can cut. I'd keep this. Red, white, green, 1 commander. Instep Earthbend 2. What the fuck is happening? I've just never been more confused in my entire life. I have just been never more confused ever. So I'm going to cut that Fire Nation Warship. This is random bullshit go. When this vehicle enters Scry 2 Crew 1? Do vehicles work with earthbending? They don't, right? They become 0/0s. Thought Vessel, out of here. There's no way you're ever having more than 7 cards in your hand. Okay, unkeepable. Unkeepable. It's like you can't keep this hand. Unkeepable. So we need to go down 2 cards now. You're running fucking Reliquary Tower. You're rage baiting me. Just watching horrified fascination or something. Yeah, I guess I am. This is scary. I'm being scared. People play Commander like this? I mean, I guess you keep this hand. We have to put like 2-3 cards on the bottom. Goodbye, Aladdin and Haru. We can Earthbend an indestructible land. Oh, wait, we can tap for any color. Okay, we're fine. Okay, then you can sack this and bring this back. Okay, the modular is doing things that I like. That's fun. Modular Toph is awesome. That's cool. The fact that something happened is magical. If you control an equipment. Toph turns them into lands, but it doesn't give them the ability to tap for mana unless you have something else. Right? It says they don't have gained the ability to tap for mana. But if you have Great Divide Guide, they now tap for mana. I mean, I don't even know if you want me to... This does not play like a Tempo 4. This is not a Bracket 4 deck. It's not even really close. If we wanted to talk about things to run in this deck, because honestly, I don't even know what you want. This is like a hostage situation for me. I'd probably cut Reliquary Tower. You're not really having a lot of things in your hand. I don't know why people are so fascinated with having a... You're running Grape Shot? This really is just cards you had in your binder, huh? I mean, more power to you. I'm just more like horrified that you're this powerful. I'd probably consider Arcbound. Here, I'm going to move your sideboard to considering. And then we can talk about things that maybe I would include in this deck. Because legitimately, Christian, this is not a real deck. Christian, this deck is not real. Also, I woke up kind of late, so it's not like I've been streaming for longer than normal today. It's just like the deck review primer for this literally just said, just watch and be horrified. Nothing needs to change about this deck. I mean, a lot of things need to change about this deck, but there's the direction I would go. Some fun cards maybe that you want to include. Arcbound Crusher, right? You have a lot of artifacts that enter. It gets bigger, you modular, you sack it, you put it on an indestructible land. That's kind of cool. Speaking of indestructible lands, you could just run Darksteel Citadel instead of that Reliquary Tower we're already running. You can run Sylvan Scrying. Sylvan Scrying turns into a land. Malevolent Rumble would be very good consistency spike. It's a ramp spell on 2 that can ramp you into your commander. And then also most of your things are permanents. Like you're running a lot of artifacts, creatures, and yeah, so and lands. You're not running a lot of lands, but you're running a lot of permanents in this deck, which means that
permanent based things like Malevolent Rumble, like dig for a permanent and then it ramps you on 2 to play Toph on 3. That's a consideration. If you're running that, maybe you run Traverse the Uvenwald. Right now you can suddenly, because you have a lot of different card types, tutor for things that are specifically very good for your strategy, like those modular creatures like Arcbound Ravager. You could run Peter Parker's Camera, right? This doubles activate or triggered abilities like Toph's Airbending end of turn trigger. And then once it's out of film counters, you earthbend it and sack it, and then it comes back tapped with all of its counters again. So it's better than Strionic because it's cheaper to deploy and doesn't really mess around with your curve too much. So that would be a pretty decent inclusion as well. Instead of like running some of these weirder like Adventurers In, which just fucks your mana period and doesn't do anything to really help you, you could run Phyrexia's Core, which lets you sacrifice artifacts. Right now you can earthbend an artifact, sacrifice it, bring it back. An actual land base. Yeah, I know. This is obviously not what this person wants though. So I'm talking about cards that maybe assist in other ways. Disciple of Freyalise. I mean, you're never going to get to 6 mana. I'm just not even going to recommend it. Maybe Starfield Shepherd. Starfield Shepherd can tutor up 1-drops. You run a lot of 1-drops. That's kind of a nice toolbox to have access to for 2 mana. I don't know if I like Foundry Inspector that much. Anyway, these are a lot of recommendations I have for the deck, but once again, no changes needed per se. Cern Orb to get the landfall access. No, I wouldn't run Torpor Orb because this isn't about Torpor Orb. This is mainly a modular deck from what I'm seeing from the creatures, and being able to, target land you control. Yeah, but all of your artifacts are land, so bink bink. That's kind of cool. I like the modular angle of Toph earthbending. That's fun. And that's kind of what I would lean into. All right, the Unkeepable Hand. Unkeepable Hand. This hand is halfway keepable. Goodbye, Horn of Greed. We don't run lands. Why are we running Horn of Greed? Okay. Snow-Covered Forest. Iron Apprentice. Next turn. City of Brass. Patchwork Automaton. Sacred Foundry. Skull Clamp. Counter. Next turn. Exotic Orchard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Toph. Dink, dink, dink. Here's where Portal to Phyrex would be really good as another sack outlet. Luckily we have Arcbound Ravager here. Sack Iron Apprentice. Put a counter here. And then dink, dink. 1, 2, 3. And then attack. And then it got an extra counter from this. I don't know, equip this to the Iron Apprentice now, draw 2 cards. Think. Scry 2. Bottom, top. Next turn, 1, 2, 3. Dink, dink. I mean, it's hitting people and doing things. That's impressive. Other things I might be interested in including, we have a lot of creatures with counters and stuff on them, so running things that are creatures with counters on them, have flying. Abzan Falconer comes to mind. Kodama of the West Tree gives modified creatures you can trample, and when they hit, you actually get to make land drops, which is kind of nice. So you have options there. for like things that are modified, things with counters on them. They now have rules text. Of course, you're fucking running Doubling Season. Yeah, I don't get the point of Doubling Season, especially when you have options like Hardened Scales, which doesn't double, but it does add 1 to every counter that you move around, and that's really good for modular. And then you also have mana value equals 3 type enchantment. I don't know why I thought that was going to bring up what I wanted. Counter. Double. Court of Garenbrig would be really good. What's the name of the twice that many are put instead? Branching Evolution. There we go. And then you could run something like Inspiring Call. This is a card to have on your radar. Because it draws a bunch of cards and protects your board. With weapons manufacturing, I do like engineered explosives. Engineered explosives is 0 mana value for an artifact that has Sunburst. So if you can do it for 1, you can do it for 2, you can do it for 3 in this deck. Maybe even 4 if you have a treasure token accidentally kicking around. And then you can sack this to blow up everything of that mana value. Of that mana value, not of that mana value or less. If you do this for 3, you're blowing up 3 drops and not 2 in ones. If you're doing it for 2, you blow up, etc. But this is very good with munition tokens, right? Because you have all these munition tokens laying around. Then you X0 this, pay 2, sack it, blow up all your munitions. That's something. Terra Symbiosis, yeah, Terra Symbiosis is really good. Terra Symbiosis in the deck. And then there's that other one. Set EOE Warp type enchantment. Yeah, if counters would be put on it twice that many. So this is also a side grade to, not main deck, sorry, sideboard. This is a side grade to Branching Evolution, right? Because you can warp this out for 1 and then do your thing. But it does cost 1 more to actually cast properly. Anyway, take those recommendations into account. Maybe run 34 lands. I'd try to push it up to there. There's a lot of MDFCs in this world, like Sejiri Shelter and Kabira Takedown and Stomp and Witch Enchanter that are lands in addition to being good spells. Sundering Eruption, which answers a land and then also makes all of your creatures unblockable from non-flyers, which is very strong, right? So just there's a whole world of stuff. Bushwhack is like a land because it land cycles. Stuff like that. You know, there's a whole world of cards waiting for you out there to make your mana actually consistent, so you don't have to mulligan down to 5 every game and then get blown out and die by removal. But you know, that's up to you to do that because it's obvious that you have a lot of preferences that don't align with what I would want for this kind of deck. But hopefully you got some cool ideas from my rambling and got some entertainment from me recoiling in horror. All right, I'd keep this hand. Draw Forest next turn. I guess I'd play Outgrown Warrior. City of Brass. We're running Evolving Wilds. We're not even running Ash Barrens. That's so bad. Manescape Refractor. Mountain. I guess the Earthbend 2 on Manescape Refractor. Pull it in. Trample and until end of turn whenever it deals damage. Draw 2 cards. Like, I don't know. What you might see is a wide board on turn 6 and go, "Oh, cool. None of these cards have evasion." If you get board wiped, this comes back, and like one other thing that you metal earthbend comes back, and then it doesn't even come back as a creature, and then all of these go the fuck away. I mean, I guess you get a bunch more counters here because you can. No, you can't even Arcbound Ravager onto it. Yeah, bummer. I guess you do the earthbend because it's target, right? That's what modular says. So like, even if you earthbend a creature back into play, there's no target until that trigger is resolved, and so you just get nothing. On target artifact creature, yeah. Yeah, so a little susceptible to board wipes. Maybe just live in a world where board wipes don't exist. I could believe it. Anyway, this deck's good to go. Scary. Scary. I don't know what to say to that one. Besides, I'm